nearly 450 million people around the world own some form of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is getting around quickly. A huge number of people own Bitcoin. Now is the time for this idea. This is an important idea. It's true we've created technology that gives people and society more power. It gives people property rights, a state, and 1 billion people. For 8 billion people, it gives them freedom, economic independence, and the possibility of independence and dignity. We use the internet, cryptography, and electronics to do it. It must press all the buttons then? It has to do with technology. It has to do with freedom. It's about money and giving people power. Each of those is an interesting subject. With the establishment green light from the SEC, even if. Unfortunately, our research shows that if institutional buyers put just over 5% of their portfolios into Bitcoin, as we expect them to do over time, it would add an extra $2.3 million to the estimate I just gave you. This was talked about at a New York investor data gathering. It's more than what Wood said at the beginning of the year, in January 2024, when he said Bitcoin could reach $1.5 million by 2030. The chances of the bullish case have gone up since the SEC gave its approval. Wood said that Bitcoin could hit $1 million by 2030 before the spot ETF was approved. Wood's investment theory depends on a lot of institutions adopting it. There's a chance that the price of Bitcoin could hit $3.8 million if big investors put 5% of their money into it. By 2030, it's not likely to happen. Even though institutional adoption has grown a lot since 2024, this could only happen if the institutional scene changed in ways that have never been seen before. The estimate for 2030 takes into account the fact that Bitcoin will be halved again in 2028. In the past, Bitcoin halves have come before higher highs and then higher lows. If this trend keeps up until 2030, the price might reach its highest point around 2029 or 2030, which would be in line with Wood's price prediction. If Wood is right and Bitcoin goes up to $3.8 million, something that was worth $100 today would be worth $5,510 in 2030. This means that the rate of growth each year has been over 95%. Even though the estimate is positive, Bitcoin has grown at a rate of over 220% per year for the past 14 years, so it's not impossible. Wood did say, though, that it would probably need a lot of money from institutions. If you have money that you won't need for 4 years and want to keep it for longer than 4 years, say for the rest of your life, that's your long-term investment portfolio. The only thing I recommend is that you take some of that money and buy Bitcoin, which is digital property. I think you should buy rental property or property that you will keep as an investment if you want to diversify your assets. You might buy a market mix of good stocks that you think will last for 10 or 20 years, or you might buy the SP index. After that, you buy collectibles or assets that you want to keep forever. Of course, that's what goes in that basket of long-term investments. I believe Bitcoin is the most important thing in the world. Bitcoin is like New York City and online. Putting money into Manhattan is a good example. The question is whether it is too late to put money into Manhattan. In 1680, was it already too late? Not at all. In 1776, was it too late? Not at all. In 1865, was it too late? Not at all. In 1914, was it too late? No. 1945? No. 1976? No. 2000? Not at all. What's the reason behind? Also, why is that the case? The reason is that Manhattan is built on an island. There is only so much land to go around. There is no other place like it in North America or the West where trade networks come together. At some point, everyone with money and power needs to or wants to go through Manhattan. It's been that way for a very long time. Everyone who has ever bought a house in Manhattan did so from someone who paid less than what they are paying now. Why does it keep going up? It's going up because more money is being printed. Not many things that people want go up forever. In this case, is it better to invest in Bitcoin or Manhattan? I believe so, since Manhattan is up against Tokyo, London, and Paris, and Manhattan is just a city. Bitcoin is the most important thing in the digital market or digital trade. It's like the main city. It's where the whole internet economy comes together. People from all over the world and every tongue have liked it. It's like a city that's 276 blocks long, 276 blocks wide, and 276 blocks deep. That number is the cube root of 21 million. There is only one block that you buy when you buy one Bitcoin. That many will be there for 100 years or 1,000 years. There isn't likely to be another investment that is more well-known and famous than gold. I guess it's second only to the dollar when it comes to money. Everyone knows what a dollar is, but the value of a dollar is not going up. In places where prices are very high, the dollar is only a good investment. You could ask 10,000 wealthy people, how did you get so rich? Not by buying money. How did you get so rich? Not by getting gold. What are you going to buy now that you're rich? How much? Not at all. Gold. Not really. What are you going to get? A group of people. Perhaps. Works by Leonardo da Vinci. Perhaps. The wonderful 7 stocks? Perhaps. A Bitcoin? Owning digital stuff? Perhaps. Property is the one thing they will always say. I own homes and buildings in New York, London, Paris, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and Miami. They own the 3 acres of beach in Palm Beach that are worth $250 million right now. That's what they are getting. Why is that? They do this because they know that everyone with money will want to buy that from them if they all agree to sell it. And because it's hard to get, it's valuable. Now, the ideal capital asset is something that is hard to get, highly sought after, portable, long-lasting, and easy to keep. Yes, what is that? That's the Bitcoin.